Hello everybody, welcome to the video on percentages by THiNC Institute of Design. My name is Jackson and let's get started. So today, before jumping into percentages, let me just give you a brief idea what percentages is. So the word percent means per 100. So basically we are converting everything out of 100. Now let's see how we can actually find percentages. So let's say we need to find 25 percentage of 200. So to find 25 percentage of 200, what we usually do is we'll multiply 200 with 25 by 100. That's what we usually do, right? So to find 25% of 200, we'll multiply 200 with 25 by 100. So why we are actually doing it? Basically, we are dividing 200 into 100 equal parts. So each part will be 200 by 100, which is 2. Now we need to find 25%. So out of 100, how much is 25? So one part out of 100 is 200 by 100. So 25 parts out of 100 is that into 25, right? So that's how we write this as 200 into 25 by 100. Now, to find x percentage of any number. So let's say I need to find x percentage of a number n. What we do is we'll do x by 100 into n. That's what we usually do. And this is the reason why we actually do this. Now, to find 25 percentage of 200, we'll multiply 200 with 25 by 100. And what is 25 by 100? It's nothing but 1 by 4, right? So to find 25% of a number, all we have to do is just multiply it with 1 by 4. So to find 50% of a number, what will we do? We'll multiply the number with 50 by 100. And what is 50 by 100? It's nothing but 1 by 2. So if you know the percentages and the corresponding fractions, it will be very easy for us to calculate the percentages. Okay, so let's say I need to find 50% of a number. So let's say how we can actually do this. So I need 50% of, let's say, 200. So all I need to do is just multiply 200 with 50 by 100. But instead of 50 by 100, we can use a corresponding fraction, right? Which is 1 by 2. So this is directly giving us, we can cancel these two, we'll get 100 as the correct answer. Now, suppose we need 25% of 200, there is no need of multiplying it with 25 by 100. We can directly use the fraction 1 by 4. So 200 into 1 by 4. So what is this? Which is nothing but 50, right? So these fractions will help us finding the percentages really fast. See, look at this table. This table gives you the percentages and the corresponding fractions. To find 50%, we can use a fraction 1 by 2. To find 25%, we can use a fraction 1 by 4. To find half of 25, to find 12.5%, we can use the corresponding fraction which is 1 by 8. So 50, 25 and 12.5, you can connect it. 1 by 2, 1 by 4 and 1 by 8. Now to find 33.33% of a fraction, we can use 1 by 3. So actually you can connect it and study, then it will be easy for you to remember it. So to find 33.33% of a number, we'll use 1 by 3. And what is half of 33.33? It's 16.66. So we'll use half of 1 by 3, that is 1 by 6 as the corresponding fraction. Now what is half of 16.66? It's 8.33. So we'll take half of 1 by 6, that is 1 by 12 as the corresponding fraction. Now to find 50%, as I said before, we'll use 1 by 2. Half of 50 is 25. We'll use the half of 1 by 2, that is 1 by 4. And what is half of 25? It is 12.5. So we'll take half of 1 by 4, which is 1 by 8. So this is how we'll make use of the percentages and the corresponding fractions. So let's say you need to find 12.5% of 800. So there is no need of doing 800 into 12.5 divided by 100. There is no need of doing this. We can directly multiply 800 with the corresponding fraction for 12.5, which is 1 by 8. And we'll directly reach it nothing but 100. So we'll get the answers really quick by using the corresponding fractions, right? Now, 50, 25 and 12.5, you are aware that the fractions are 1 by 2, 1 by 4 and 1 by 8. 33.33 is 1 by 3, 16.66 is 1 by 6, 8.33 is 1 by 12. Now, to find 10% of a number, we'll use 1 by 10. To find 20%, we'll use 1 by 5. Now, apart from these, there are three other percentages which we haven't discussed yet. One is 14.28, one is 11.11, and the last one is 9.09. Now, there is a technique with which we can remember these percentages and corresponding fractions really fast. I'll tell you that. See, look at the percentages, the three percentages which I was mentioning right now. One is 9.09. And what is the fraction corresponding to 9.09? It's 1 by 11, right? Okay, I'm just writing the percentages and the corresponding fractions. So 9.09 percentage corresponds to 1 by 11. 11.11 percentage corresponds to 1 by 9. And what's the last one? 14.28 percentage corresponds to 1 by 7. Now, to find the percentage corresponding to 1 by, see, 11 is connected to 9, 9 is connected to 11. You can actually connect it and study that really fast. So, 1 by 11 corresponds to 9.09, 1 by 9 corresponds to 11.11. Now, to remember the percentage corresponding to 1 by 7, again there is a shortcut. What is the double of 7? That's 14, right? And what is double of 14? That's 28. So, in that way we can remember it. So, 1 by 7 corresponds to 14.28 and 9 or 11 are connected together. So, 1 by 11 corresponds to 9.09 and 1 by 9 corresponds to 11.11. So, in this way we can actually remember the percentages and corresponding fractions, and if you know the corresponding fractions we can do the calculations really fast. Okay, let's do one last question. So, let's say we need 11.11 percentage of 918. So, what we can do, we can use the corresponding fraction which is 1 by 9. So, it's 1 by 9 into 918. So, it's nothing but 102. So, this is nothing but 102. So, make sure you know, make sure you remember these percentages and corresponding fractions and make use of it. In the exam also, they will intentionally keep these percentages with matching numbers. So, the reason is they are intentionally keeping it because you can make use of the corresponding fractions and do the calculations really fast. Now, let's move forward. So, we have a question here. Two boys are selling oranges. One of them has 9 more oranges than the other boy, and it is 56% of the total oranges. The oranges with each boy are is the question. So, there are two boys who are selling oranges. One boy has 9 more oranges than the other boy, and it is 56% of the total. So, there are two informations in the question. What is that? There are two boys. One of them has 9 more oranges than the other boy. So, if one boy has some oranges, other boy has 9 more than that. And he has 56% of the total, right? So, boy who holds 9 more oranges than the other boy has 56% of the total oranges with him. And we need to find out the number of oranges with each boy. Okay, so let's get started. Let's keep moving. There is a conventional way of doing this. That is, we do it algebraically. So, let's see how we can actually do it. So, two boys are selling oranges. One boy has 9 more oranges than the other boy. So, that means if one boy has X oranges, so if one boy has X oranges, other boy has 9 more, right? X plus 9 oranges. So, one boy has 9 more oranges than the other boy. So, one boy has 9 more than the other, and that is, so X plus 9 is, and that is 56% of the total. So, what is the total? It's X plus 9. I believe this is clear for you. So, one boy has 9 more oranges than the other boy, and it is, so boy who has 9 more oranges than the other boy has 56% of the total. What is the total? Total is nothing but X plus 9. Now, we have an algebraic equation here. We can obviously solve this. So, in the next step, we'll get X plus 9 equals 56 by 100 into 2X plus 9. So, we can proceed further by solving it, but it will take a lot of time. So, we have to cross multiply 100 to this side, then we have to frame an equation out of it, we have to isolate X on one side, and then we have to solve the value of X and X plus 9, which obviously will take a lot of time. So, basically in the exam, for doing it in this way, we don't have that much of time. So, what can we do other than this? What else can be done? Okay, I'll explain. So before jumping in, let me just give you a brief idea what kind of thought process we need to have. So let's say there are two boys. One boy has 70% of the total oranges with him. Imagine. That means the other boy has the remaining 30%, right? Likewise, let's say one boy has 80% of the total oranges with him. So obviously the other boy has the remaining 20%. So if one boy has 90% of the total with him, obviously the other boy has the remaining 10%, right? So likewise, there are two boys. So one boy has 56% of the total with him. So if one boy has 56% of the total, obviously the other boy has the remaining, right? So what is the remaining? We just need to do 100 minus 56. So what is 100 minus 56? It is 44. So 56% of the total oranges is with one boy. That means the remaining 44% is with the other boy, right? Now, what is the difference between 56 and 44? So what is 56 minus 44? So if you do 56 minus 44, it's nothing but 12. That means the difference between the oranges with them is nothing but 12% of the total. Am I right? Yes. So the difference between the oranges with them is 56% minus 44%, which is nothing but 12% of the total. Okay, so let me see if there is somebody who haven't connected it. Let me just give you another example. So let's say 70% of the total oranges is with one boy. That means obviously the remaining 30% will be with the other boy, right? So 70% is with one. Let's say imagine 70% is with one. So obviously the remaining 30% is with the other. So difference between 70 and 30 is 40. So difference between the oranges with them is nothing but 40% of the total. So in the same way, one boy has 56% of the total. So obviously the other boy has a remaining 44%. So difference of these two, 56 minus 44 is nothing but 12. So that means difference between the oranges with them is nothing but 12% of the total. So difference between the oranges with them is 12% of the total. So difference between the oranges with them is 12% of the total. We'll directly reach at this. And we know that one boy has 9 more oranges than the other boy. So if one boy has 9 more than the other, so obviously the difference between the oranges with them will be 9, right? So it is clearly given that one boy has 9 more oranges than the other boy. So obviously the difference between the oranges with them will be 9. So we know that 12% of the total is a difference, and that is nothing but 9. So we can directly write this from the information given. There is no need of framing any expression, any algebraic equation or anything. We'll directly write this. Now from this we'll get the total number of oranges. We can cancel these two with 3. This is 3, this is 4, this is 25. So what is the total number of oranges? It's 25 into 3. And what's 25 into 3? That is 75. So what's the meaning of that? They have 75 oranges in total, right? So both the boys together have 75 oranges in total. So but actually we need to find the oranges with each boy. So how much each boy has is what the question is. But we know that the total number of oranges with them need to be 75. So in option A, if 41 and 32 is the oranges with each boy, is the total matching with 75? In option A, the total is 41 plus 32, which is 73 only. It's not matching with 75. We know the total need to be 75. That is not matching here. In option B, if 49 and 40 is the oranges with each boy, the total is coming as 89, not matching with 75. In option C, the total is 69, not matching with 75. In option D, the total is exactly 75, right? So if the total number of oranges is 75, option D is the one which only matches with it. So obviously D will be the correct answer. So basically for solving this question, we just need a single step. That is, one boy has 56% of the total with him. Obviously the other boy has the remaining 44%. So difference between the oranges with them is 56 minus 44, which is 12% of the total. And we know that since one boy has 9 more than the other, difference between the oranges with them is equal to 9. So 12% of the total is a difference, that is 9. From there we'll get the total oranges, which is 75. Only option D have a matching option, which makes a total of 75. So obviously D will be the correct answer. So if you approach this question in this way, this can be done in a single step and you can finish it off in 1 minute time. Now we are actually going to discuss about a formula. So the formula is A plus B plus AB by 100. This is a very useful formula. You can make use of this formula in different situations. So I'll tell you one situation where you can make use of this. One is, let's say there is a shopkeeper. Let's say you went to a shopkeeper for buying something. Let's say the price of the article is 100 rupees. So price is 100. Now, on that particular day, let's say there is a flat 10% discount on all the items. So the actual price is 100. You are getting a 10% discount. So what is the price now? 100 is reduced by 10%. Now to find 10% of any number, there is a shortcut. Just put a point to the left. So what is 10% of 100? Just put a point to the left. It's 10. So 100 is reduced by 10% means 100 is reduced by 10% of 100, which is 10. So it is 100 is reduced by 10. So it becomes 90. Now imagine you are at the billing counter and the person who is there at the billing counter is giving you additional 10% discount on the billing amount. So on 90 he is again giving a 10% discount. So what is 10% of 90? Again, just put a point to the left. So 10% of 90 is 9. 90 is reduced by 9 and it becomes 81, right? So 100 became 81 means there is an overall discount of how much? So let's say 100 became 80. That means there is a discount of 20%, right? So 100 became 81 means the actual discount is not 20%, that is 19% only. See, you are getting two successive discounts of 10 and 10. Are you getting a 20% discount overall? No, you are getting only a 19% discount. So if you're going to some supermarkets in your daily life, also you can find this. So there might be a flat 10% discount on all the items. And imagine you're purchasing beyond 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees. They might give you additional 10% discount on the billing amount. So what we think is there is a 20% discount, but actually we are going to get 19% discount only. So whatever the number is, if you reduce any number by 10% and 10% successively, the overall discount will be always 19%. Now, suppose there is a question. Look at this question. A shopkeeper is giving two successive discounts of 20% and 40%. What is the overall discount? You can obviously go for a trial and error like this. So we can imagine the initial price as let's say 100. So what is the shopkeeper doing? The shopkeeper is giving a 20% discount first. So what is 20% of 100? 10% of 100 is 10, right? So 20% of 100 will be 20. So this is reduced by 20. So it becomes 80. Now 80 is again reduced by 40% because there are two successive discounts of 20 and 40. So what is 40% of 80? So we know that 10% of 80 is 8. Just put a point to the left. So 10% of 80 is 8. So 40% will be 8 into 4, which is 32. So now this is reduced by 32. Now what's the final price? 80 minus 32, which is nothing but 48, right? So 100 became 48. That means there is an overall discount of 52%, right? So we can go for a trial and error like this and we can find it out, but it will take some time. So instead of that, there is a formula which helps you to find the answer really quick. And that formula is A plus B plus AB by 100. So if you know this formula, there is no need of doing all these trial and error. All you need to do is just plug in A as minus 20 because there is a discount and B as minus 40. There are two successive discounts of 20 and 40. What is the overall discount? All you need to do is just substitute A as minus 20 and B as minus 40. So the overall discount will be minus 20 plus minus 40 plus minus 20 into minus 40 by 100. So if you do this, you will directly get the answer. Now, while doing this calculation, to avoid making any mistakes, what I suggest is just do these two separately and then add them up. So if you do minus 20 plus minus 40, it is minus 60. If you do this, you will get plus 8. So what is minus 60 plus 8? We are directly getting minus 52. So there is an overall discount of 52%. I hope this is clear for you. So instead of going for a trial and error, what we can do, we can directly use the formula, that is A plus B plus AB by 100. There is another situation where we can actually make use of the same formula. So let me just explain you that. So can you predict any day-to-day life situation where you're multiplying two numbers? Any daily life situation where you're multiplying two numbers. So imagine you went to a shop, price of one pen is, let's say, $20 or 20 rupees. So what is the price of 10 pens? It's 20 into 10, which is 200, right? So price per unit into number of units. So price per unit into number of units gives us the total price. Likewise, speed into time gives us a distance. Now length into breadth of a rectangle gives us the area of the rectangle. So these are all day-to-day life situations where you're multiplying two numbers, right? Now imagine the numbers getting multiplied is having a percentage change. So let's say speed is increased by 20% and time of travel is reduced by, let's say, 40%. Obviously there will be some percentage change in the product. Or let's say the price per unit is increased by, let's say, 30%. Number of units I am buying is decreased by, let's say, 50%. So obviously there will be some percentage change in the product total price. Or let's say length is, okay, look at this question. Length of a rectangle is increased by 20%. Breadth is decreased by 40%. What is the percentage change in the area? So length is increased by 20%. Breadth is decreased by 40%. So what we need to find? We need to find the percentage change in the area, right? So what we have to do, instead of A, so we can use the same formula, that is A plus B plus AB by 100. So length is increased by 20, breadth is decreased by 40. What is the percentage change in the product or the area is the question? So instead of A, put plus 20 and instead of B, put minus 40 because one number is increased by 20, other number is decreased by 40. That's why I'm putting plus 20 and minus 40. So I'm substituting A as plus 20, B as minus 40. So plus 20 plus minus 40 plus 20 into minus 40 by 100 will be the overall percentage change. So this is minus 20. So we are doing these two parts separately. This is minus 20. This is plus minus 8. So what is minus 20 plus minus 8? It's nothing but minus 28. That means there is an overall discount of 28%. Actually this question is based on area, right? So that means the area will reduce by 28%. So that means the area will reduce by 28%. Now, if this is a question connected to discounts, so let's say the price of an article is increased by 20%, then decreased by 40%. What will be the overall percentage decrease? Again, we can use the same formula, that is A plus B plus AB by 100. So instead of A, put plus 20, instead of B, put minus 40. So plus 20 plus minus 40 plus 20 into minus 40 by 100 will be the overall percentage change. So we'll get minus 28. That means there is an overall discount of 28%. So in both the situations, we can make use of the same formula, that is A plus B plus AB by 100. Okay, now let's look at a question connected to this. So when we actually look at the question, we will not feel like this is connected to the formula, but this is something which usually comes in for the exams. So let's see how we can actually tackle that. Let's look at this question. So the price of the sugar is increased by 25%. The percentage reduction that the family should affect in the use of sugar so as not to increase the expenditure of the account. So what is the question saying? The price of the sugar is increased by 25%. So price is increased by 25%. So you are all people who actually go to shop and buy items, right? So you actually went to a shop, and reaching the shop you found that the price is increased by 25%. So obviously what we have to do, we have to reduce the quantity, right? You're buying. Then only the expenditure will remain the same. So for the same price, you will not get that much of quantity. Obviously the price is increased. So if the price is more, the quantity you can buy is less actually. So the price is increased by 25%. The question is asking us the percentage, the reduction the family should affect in the use of sugar so as not to increase the expenditure. So what is expenditure? So we know that price into consumption is expenditure, is it right? Price into consumption is expenditure. For example, let's say the price of sugar is 40 per kg, rupees 40 per kg, and I consumed 5 kgs. So what is the expenditure? It will be 40 into 5, 200 rupees, right? So price into consumption gives us expenditure. Now what happened? Price of the sugar is increased by 25%. Now the question is, the consumption need to be decreased by what percentage? Let's say it is decreased by X percentage. so that there is no change in the expenditure. So there is 0% change in the product or the expenditure. So what is this X value? So that when we multiply these two, we have 0% change in the product. Now we know that if one number is increased by 25% and other number is decreased by X percentage, what will be the percentage change in the product? We can make use of the formula A plus B plus AB by 100. So instead of A, put plus 25. Instead of B, put minus X. So plus 25 plus minus X plus 25 into minus X by 100 will be the overall percentage change. And the question says that we need to find the X value so that the percentage change in the product need to be 0, right? There is no change in the expenditure actually. So the percentage change in the product that need to be 0. So we are equating it to 0. So, and we are actually finding the X value which makes it 0. So I believe this is clear for you. So price into consumption is expenditure. Now price is increased by 25%. How much is the consumption? The other number getting multiplied need to be decreased so that the expenditure is not changing or there is 0% change in the product is what we are finding out. So if we know that if one number is increased by 25 and other number is decreased by X, to find the percentage change in the product, we'll use the formula A plus B plus AB by 100, and instead of A we'll put plus 25, instead of B we'll put minus X. So plus 25 plus minus X plus 25 into minus X by 100 will be the overall percentage change in the product, and that need to be 0. So what will we get here? So we'll get 25 equals X plus 25X by 100. Clear? So we are going to find the X value from this. So what we did is, we just transformed all the X terms to the right hand side, that's it. So minus X become plus X, minus 25X by 100 becomes plus 25X by 100. So what will we get here on the right? So 25 equals, so when you solve this, we'll do cross multiplication. 100, we'll cross multiply here, right? 100X plus 25X all divided by 100. So we'll get 25 equals 125 X by 100. Now we need to find the value of X. What we can do, we can cross multiply. So 25 into 100 equals 125X. So what is going to be X? X is equal to 25 into 100 by 125. Now we can cancel these two. So we'll get nothing but 20%. That means, so we know that price into consumption is the expenditure. Now if price is increased by 25%, how much the consumption need to be reduced so that expenditure is not changing, there is 0% change in the product. So we imagine this reducing by X percentage and we got X as 20, that means the consumption need to be reduced by only 20%. So imagine you're going to a shop, the price is increased by 25%. Do we need to reduce the consumption also by 25%? Not needed, we just need to reduce it by 20%. The expenditure will remain the same. So this is actually an application of the same. The same question can come in a different manner, like speed is increased by 25%. So we know that speed into time is a distance. So speed is increased by 25%. How much the time of travel need to be reduced so that there is no percentage change in the distance? The answer is the same, which is 20%. So in all such kind of questions, we can make use of the corresponding formula, that is A plus B plus AB by 100. We can plug into the plug in the corresponding numbers into the formula and find the missing number really fast. So I believe you got an idea how we can actually find percentages, what are the percentages and corresponding fractions, and what is the application of the formula A plus B plus AB by 100. That is what we discussed in today's class. So thank you so much for the time. So I think you got an idea how things are working in percentages. This is the introduction video on percentages. We'll continue with the next video. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.